In this lesson, moving forward, I'm going to demonstrate how to create a web page and further customize your WordPress theme so that it gives us a starting point for future lessons when we get into development programming languages such as PHP, CSS, and JavaScript or Java. Having a basic structure of your website is important. So let me go ahead and navigate to the appearance section here, and under appearance I'm going to click on customize. Of course, I can use this menu option, or I can directly from my dashboard click on customize your site. They're both the same, and this takes me to the customization area. And again, these customizations are pretty straightforward. These are just standard structure and layout of your web page or the site that you're designing. So for instance, the first option is site identity. I can click on site identity, and this will give me a couple of options such as logo, which is important because right now our logo is serif. Obviously we need to change this logo to our own logo. So I'm going to click on select image, and I can upload files from my own computer by clicking on select files, and make sure you navigate to the directory of where the images are. And of course you need to have those images already in place, right? Such as your logos or any other images that you wish to use on your website. So I'm going to go ahead and select, in fact, all of them. I'm going to upload them all at once, and I'm doing this by holding the control key on my keyboard and selecting all images and click open, and this is going to upload all images to my WordPress platform. And notice as WordPress is uploading, it shows me, for example, if I were to click on this logo here, it shows me the size of the logo, the date, the width and height, and of course the URL, the title, caption, alt text, which is alternate text, and this is simply when you hover over a certain image and certain text is displayed. So let's say we're going to go ahead and click on this logo here, and I'm going to give it a title. I'm going to call it Cletus logo. Caption is optional. Alt text, I'm going to use the same text, so simply copy this and paste it, and description is obviously the same as well. The reason why it's important to enter the alt text and description is for SEO purposes, the search engine optimization, which of course I'll take a look at and I'll demonstrate in future lessons here. But importantly, since we are adding images, I want to mention here at this point, then make sure whenever you're adding an image to your website, it has a title, alt text, and some description. I can also edit the image. For example, before inserting it, if I click on edit image, WordPress takes me to the editing page, and I can move the image, I can rotate the image. For instance, I can make the size smaller. So instead of 600 by 267 pixels, I can crop the image if need be. So for instance, once I insert the image on my web page and it's too large, too wide, or too small, I can always scale the image at any point in time. So once I'm done, I click on update, and let's go back to our media here, and this brings up the library of all of our image. Perfect. Let's navigate back to the customization by going to appearance and customize, going back to the site identity, and here again I'm going to go ahead and select the image and click on the image that we earlier had changed the alt text and description, which was this one, and click choose, and notice on our site our image is now changed. Our site title is Claydesk eLearning Portal, which is fine, and I'm going to change the tagline as well, and we're going to say e-learning made simple. I can also change the site icon. The site icon is one of those icons that you see on the top tab when you open or you visit a certain website. You notice the site icon being displayed. It is also called a favicon, if you will. So one of the same things. So I can always select the image here also and choose the smaller image. It's called the favicon image. Click select. And even though it's not displayed properly, I can always go back, close this, go ahead and select a different image. For example, how about this one? And let WordPress crop it for us. Click select, and WordPress says, all right, this is the image size. I can always drag, make it smaller, and I can always make it centered depending upon my own requirement. And once I'm done, click crop image, and WordPress is going to crop it and insert it. So notice on the top left tab now on our website, it says displays a small favicon, and then of course our main image is also being inserted. Great. Once I'm done, simply click save and publish once you're satisfied with all the changes. Next, let's go back to our customize by clicking on appearance and customize here. Let's take a look at some of the other options. For instance, let me navigate down to the widgets area, and then of course take a look at our footers. If I need to add a footer, I could do so, and then again, this depends on my own structural layout of my website, whether I do want this or maybe I want this later. It's up to you. Okay, so I'm going to close this for now, navigate to my site just to view by clicking on visit site, and our site looks pretty neat. It has a logo, a couple of menus here, and of course our main home page has some text. So next we want to be able to change our footer area as well. Okay, we want to have some address here, some email, and of course our telephone number, and maybe some social media icons and links as well. So let's go back to our dashboard, close this, and once you're in the customizer area, let's navigate to our general options. And under general options, there's an option called footer content. When you click on footer content, you have the ability to change the icon. If you don't like this green envelope for your email section, this one, for example, you can change by clicking on the image, or remove the image if you will, and of course change your email as well. So notice this is HTML tag, the anchor tag for a link, and the link to create an email. In other words, if I use mail2:contact@site.com, when some user clicks on it, your email client such as Outlook will open, and you'll be able to directly email from there. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to, say, for instance, support@claydesk.com, and of course I can move this bigger if I need some space. And then this is our text that is going to be displayed, so I don't need to have the email again, or I can say just something like email us. Okay, and notice on my footer automatically the text changes. Likewise, if I scroll down, I can always change the phone number, and I can type our own phone number, 646, and then the complete phone number, and change the number here as well so that it displays on the page. Perfect. And then lastly, our company address. I can simply type our company address, something like St. Mark's Avenue, let's say New Jersey, and our zip code. Okay, just a simple address, email, and phone number. Once I'm done, make sure I save and publish so that all changes are saved. Next, we can change some social icons, for example. So let me close here. Let's go back to our customize. And then under general options, the same option. Instead of footer content, I'm going to go ahead and click on footer social icons. And of course, here's our links for Facebook and so on. So I can type the actual links here. I notice as soon as I'm typing, everything is being changed for the link here for Facebook. So I can say facebook.com and then Claydesk as our Facebook page. Same thing for our Twitter link, https:// and then of course our Twitter link. You need to have those pages, by the way, your social media pages created already before you can start linking them. Okay, and similarly, I'm going to do one more here just for practice. For linkedin.com/ and then of course our LinkedIn address, and save and publish, and this will change some of the links as well. Okay, if I go back, I can change the copyright options also. So let me navigate back and scroll down and take a look at if there are any other changes that I wish to make to the basic structure of my page. But you can play with it and give you the idea how to work with it. There are certain areas, for instance, that are not to be found in the customization area. For instance, where it says Xaref Lite powered by WordPress. Well, it does not exist in this section. Okay, and I know you're going to be able to find, you're going to try to find it by going to each menu options, and you're not going to find the option to change this particular text. But really, we wish to change this text. We don't want the users coming to our site and finding out that this is a Xaref Lite powered by WordPress. Well, this is supposed to be our own theme, right? This is something that our own branding. We don't want any other names. But how do I find this text? It does not exist in the customization menu. Anytime you do not find anything in the customization area or within the WordPress platform, we need to go to the actual code. Okay, and the programming language that is used is PHP, which is Pretext Hyperprocessor. So let me close this and show you that, in fact, how to get to your coding. Under Appearance, there's an option called Editor. So let's not worry about the customize our theme and pages and configuration of our pages. Let's go directly to the code so that you actually get to see what the code looks like. And if you don't find anything within your WordPress environment, how do we go to the back end of things and then finding out where things exist? So I'm going to go ahead and click on the editor under the Appearance menu here. As soon as I click on Editor, what WordPress does, it gives me all the templates on the right side of the screen, and on the left it shows me the actual code. Okay, and this is all PHP. But for right now, I just want to show you where the code exists and what it looks like. So for example, on the right side under templates, notice each of these are pages. So if I click on, for instance, the theme footer.php, it displays the PHP code that belongs to the footer.php. Okay, now within the footer.php, if I scroll down all the way to the bottom within my code, you'll notice that you'll see something like powered by, and then Xaref Lite, copyright, wordpress.org. This looks familiar, doesn't it? This is exactly, if I go back to my site, this one right here on the bottom here. So this is our footer.php. So there are areas where you can change in customization, but there may be times where you will not see the text to be changed. And obviously it is understandable because whoever is giving you the theme, they want to make sure that you keep their name, right? It's not that easy to change, but now we know. Okay, so let's go back to our editor, and here, for instance, within our code, I'm going to say powered by, and instead of Xaref Lite, I'm going to highlight this and say Claydesk. Okay, and I'm just going to demonstrate this. So don't worry about all this code at this point. Just understand the concept that if you don't find anything in the customization window, for instance, you'd have to go to your editor and change the code. So I'm just going to change it briefly here, and subsequent lessons when we actually get to our programming languages, we'll always come back and change lots of other things, right? So I just changed simple text here. Make sure I update the file, and a word of caution that you need to make sure that you have a copy or a backup copy of this entire code, right? So one way, of course, is to select all and control copy and then save it in a text file such as Notepad or Word document and call it footer.php as a backup. So you make sure you have a backup because WordPress doesn't allow a direct backup in this window, right? So you need to make sure you have the backup code. So once you've made the changes, click Update File. As soon as your PHP file gets updated, let's go back to our site, refresh, and notice on the bottom here it'll now say Claydesk powered by WordPress. Okay, so likewise you can always go back, revert back to your editor, your footer.php file, and change all of these settings. Perfect. So in this lesson I demonstrated how to create and further customize your web page by using the customization option in WordPress and going to our PHP environment and customizing certain areas within your footer. And of course you can do the same and apply the same concept to other areas within your web page. So I hope this helps. Practice customizing your WordPress theme and environment, and let's move to our next lesson.